There is a theory that says, the Earth is inhabited by strange creatures that we do not know. These beings are still working for other planets or other beings. For example, strange activity is observed in the mountains of California many nights of the year. There are dazzling intermittent lights that people can see with the naked eye. Many attempts have been made to determine its source, but none of the agents or intelligence services were able to discover the truth, especially on a mountain called Mount Shasta in the farthest part of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. On clear nights, you will see strong, dazzling light signals, the closest thing to communicating with signs, but no one knows yet where it comes from. It is said that in the nearby forests, there is a group of people with strange and unfamiliar features until now. They are tall, with green eyes and blonde hair. They live in complete isolation inside the forest. But the strange thing is that scientific instruments record very high vibrations. Radio equipment suffers from severe interference in these areas, and the compasses get confused. There is a belief among Americans, after the appearance of flying saucers and the invention of spaceships, that these isolated people in the forests are from the planet Venus. There are religious associations that sanctify them, but do not dare approach them. Some archaeologists confirm that under Mount Shasta, there is a long tunnel exactly like the one under the Himalayas in India, and that there are strange cities unknown to us under this mountain. The smoke that rises at intermittent intervals from the mountain is not due to volcanic activity, but rather, it is a type of smoke, like car exhaust, and this strange exhaust is expelled at different intervals. These very dazzling lights in these mountains are matched by other strange lights recorded by observatories on the dark side of the moon. In 1960, a brilliant light was seen on the dark side of the moon. This light remained for 5 minutes and then disappeared. On April 19, 1961, the huge Palomar Observatory saw 5 luminous objects above the dark side of the moon. Each one of them remained illuminated for 30 seconds and then disappeared. John D. Krauss, the well-known astronomer, said that these dazzling intermittent lights that he saw on Venus must have come from transmitting stations. Dr. Krauss also believes that Mars is the launch base for flying saucers coming to us from another group in the universe. Likewise, the moon may also have been a base for spaceships or flying saucers. Perhaps someone had used it before that, thousands of years ago. Long before that, astronomers noticed strange things, which they recorded with their humble lenses. For example, in 1822, the German astronomer Franz von Gruithuisen noted that he saw on the moon the ruins of a city and that he saw its walls clearly. This place on the moon still bears the name of the great astronomer. This observation has special importance in the 19th century. At that time, scientists did not know that the moon could reflect images of the American continent when the sun fell on it. Therefore, what Gruithuisen saw is nothing but a kind of mirage, although modern spaceships confirm the presence of traces of rational beings as well, such as the presence of obelisks that have a pharaonic appearance, and under the moon's cover, there must be the remains of cities, or the remains of life. Life is not possible on the surface of the moon, but rather it becomes possible under its thick crust. Who knows? Perhaps there was life, and it disappeared. Many astronomers have noticed bright spots on the moon's volcanoes, and these spots are moving, especially when Mars is very close to the Earth. They are light signals. On November 23, 1920, a bright spot was seen on the moon to the point that the crater of one of the volcanoes was very clear. It was photographed. On August 12, 1944, a strong light was seen in Plato volcano on the surface of the moon, which was a reflection of sunlight. This light was intermittent and regular. This optical transmission took 5 minutes. If we go back to ancient history, we find many stories and anecdotes about flying ships. Balls of fire move quickly in the sky and do not fall to the ground. Whoever reads the myths of the Indians, the Pharaohs, China, Tibet, and Peru will find many descriptions of these round or cylindrical objects from which no one hears any sound. They come and go, and the pure gold dishes that the Peruvian civilization talks about must be these flying dishes. The gold that scientists found has a familiar degree of fineness, must be parts of these flying saucers. Scientists have confirmed that this gold, which the Peruvians used as currencies, cannot be made or processed except at high temperatures, reaching 3,000 or 5,000 degrees Celsius, and this is what no one could do at that time. When Greek scientists came to pharaonic Egypt, they heard stories of circular bodies moving between the earth and the sun. No one's thoughts went beyond astonishment, even though the Egyptian priests confirmed that they knew the secret. And they do not reveal it, and that they are the first to say that there is life in other places in this universe. In the Middle Ages in Europe, strange things appeared in the sky. In the year 877 in France, people saw multiple balls in the sky, and they saw shine, sparkle, and mirage, and they saw people appearing from flying balls. Professor Carl Jung, the greatest psychologist, says that on August 17, 1566, people in the city of Basel, Switzerland, saw a large number of black balls filling the sky at sunset. This scene was recorded by an artist in a painting located in the Basel City Gallery. Professor Carl Jung also says that on April 24, 1561, people in the city of Nuremberg, Germany, saw flying saucers and bright balls coming and going in the sky of the city, and that they remained like that for a few hours. People see it very clearly, and an artist recorded this strange historical scene. The great scholar Jung believes that every era has myths. The questions are very easy, and the answers are very difficult, and we have no choice but to think. Otherwise, we can set hypotheses and mental possibilities that are as great as our own minds. We are not the most rational beings in the universe, nor has the human mind itself reached its maximum capacity for thinking and creativity. If we know that the age of rational man on this earth has not exceeded 100 centuries, and that we have not achieved all these tremendous scientific developments except in the last 100 years, we realize that we have a lot of progress and expansion ahead of us. The horizon and our equipment is still powerless, our observatories are insufficient, and our means of understanding are limited. Therefore, it is reasonable to quickly reject the existence of rational beings and that they have means of transportation that are more accurate and greater than the primitive spaceships that we possess. Therefore, flying saucers were a scientific possibility that could not be rejected or even impossible to deny. How can we deny what a great scientist like Einstein said in front of millions of people in America? The broadcaster asked him, "Sir, the great professor, do you think there are flying saucers?" Einstein said, "I believe there are flying saucers." "Where did it come from?" Einstein replied, "I do not know where, but the Earth cannot be an island isolated from other worlds and other people. I do not rule out that they are people who have lived here on Earth for 20,000 years. When the broadcaster asked him, "Why do they return to Earth?" Einstein said, "It is the nature of returning to the origin, the nature of returning to the place of childhood. It is a fixed nature in every human being.